Imagine for a moment that you have a profession. You're good at that profession. You've been doing that profession for 30 years. Something comes to you. You meet a man, and this man is so revolutionary in what he has to say that you decide to stop following that job. You decide to drop everything that you have. You have to tell your wife that you're going to do this. She thinks that you're nuts. You drop everything. You follow this guy. Step by step. For 3 years, you're following this guy around. You watch him do these absolutely insane things that are inexplicable. You start to believe that this guy must have powers that are greater than any man's ever had. You start to believe that I think this guy might literally be from God, if not God himself. And you watch him raise people from the dead. You watch him perform miracles. And you come to truly believe that this is the embodiment of God. And then, like a whirlwind, he's murdered right before your eyes. And before that, he's beaten. He looks tattered. He no longer even looks like the guy you were following around for 3 years. You gave up your profession for, you had to justify to your wife for. You thought that this guy was untouchable, and now all of a sudden, right in front of your eyes, you watch him helplessly be slaughtered. What do you do next? Do you run around and tell everybody about what a great guy he was? You run around and kind of, explain to everybody that this must be God embodied. This must be the Son of God. Do you do that? Absolutely not. I wouldn't do it. And neither did the disciples after Jesus dies. They go, they hide, they lock the doors. Peter and a small crew of them later return to Galilee. They go back to fishing. They do everything that they knew to do before they started walking with this man being Jesus. But then something happens. This guy who you followed, who you thought, maybe I was wrong. I watched him helplessly die. He could save others, could do nothing for himself. He stands before you, resurrected, holes in hands, and the same calm disposition you saw so many times before amongst the chaos. He stands before you now. Do you then go into hiding? What do you do at that point? Well, what the disciples do is they realize definitively that this is who he said he was. And the 3 years wasn't a waste, and there's no longer a need to hide. In fact, they're so convinced that they go from hiding to justifying, to the point of what? What's kind of interesting is in the American legal system, you can't bring up a statement that somebody makes out of court. Like, for instance, the Gospels. You couldn't include those writings in court because that would be hearsay. It's a statement that's made out of court by someone. But there are exceptions to hearsay. And one of those exceptions, fun facts, is under Federal Rules of Evidence 804B3. And here's what it says. It says that when someone makes an out-of-court statement that is at interest with their own, or rather it is adverse to their own interests, then there's an exception. And so what is the requirement under that? The requirement is that they must be making a statement that they would not have made in any other circumstance unless they believed it to be true, because it is so great of a potential punishment or potential loss to either their finances or their self for criminal liability. And that statement has to be substantiated by greater facts outside of this. And so in this case, these men go on to write about Jesus after following, fearing, and then faithfully pursuing to know others. And what are the outside statements, or rather, what are the outside evidence that shows what power is behind their statements? Well, 11 of the 12 disciples are going to be martyred, right? 10 of the original 11, and then Matthias as well. Paul, who writes of Jesus, is going to be martyred. Jesus' brother, who did not even believe he was the Messiah while he was alive until seeing him resurrected, goes on to be martyred. How? Well, Simon, also known as Peter, he's crucified upside down. Andrew, crucified. James, the son of Zebedee, beheaded. John, son of Zebedee, the only one to not die. And you think, well, did he just walk it off? No, he was boiled, tortured, and exiled on an island, and still would not recant his statements. Philip, crucified. Bartholomew, flayed alive and then beheaded. Thomas, speared to death. Matthew, beheaded. James, son of Alphaeus, stoned to death. Thaddeus, beaten to death. Simon the Zealot, crucified. Matthias, stoned and beheaded. James, Jesus' brother, stoned to death. And Paul, beheaded. All because at the time, to not recant their statement that Jesus was this risen king, to not just simply recant that and no longer agree, and to make an honest, good faith effort to sacrifice the idols, because they wouldn't do that, they suffered this outcome. And that is the corroborating evidence that makes the testimony that they make about Jesus so powerful. A person will die for something they believe, right? Military guys I've been with, I was willing to be in a situation to give my life for others, but it was because I believed in it. And these men firsthand witnessed this. No one suffers that fate for something they believe is a lie. And Jesus was risen. Happy Easter. Praise the King. Talk to you guys soon.